The discovery that papaya and passion fruit may have unexpected cancer-fighting potential is being met with excitement. But experts warn that the road from promising research to real-world medical treatment is long, uncertain, and fraught with challenges. While studies have shown that plant-based compounds contain bioactive molecules capable of modulating immune responses and possibly inhibiting disease progression, the leap from experimental findings to effective cancer treatments is far from guaranteed. In the case of these fruit-derived compounds, the obstacles to their practical use may outweigh the potential benefits in the short term, and premature optimism could overshadow the real complexities involved. One of the biggest issues with this research is the difficulty in isolating and standardizing the active compounds responsible for the potential anti-cancer effects. Many plant-based substances contain flavonoids, alkaloids, terpenoids, and polysaccharides, but their effects can vary significantly depending on how they are extracted, processed, and consumed. Even in cases where a specific compound appears to have an impact on cancer cells in laboratory conditions, translating these effects into safe and effective treatments for humans is an entirely different challenge. Another major problem is bioavailability, how well the body absorbs and utilizes these compounds. Many promising plant-based molecules break down too quickly in the digestive system or fail to reach cancer cells in sufficient concentrations to have a meaningful effect. For example, the study mentions the modification of pectins from passion fruit and papaya to enhance their biological activity. But even with these alterations, it remains unclear whether they would be potent enough to make a real difference in cancer treatment. The human body's metabolism and complex interactions between different compounds in food can make it difficult to predict or control their effects once ingested. Furthermore, the research on these fruit extracts is still in its early stages, mostly limited to lab and animal studies. While preliminary results suggest potential benefits, history has shown that many natural compounds that show promise in preclinical testing ultimately fail in human trials. The study acknowledges that clinical trials would be necessary before any definitive conclusions can be drawn, but the reality is that very few plant-based compounds make it through the rigorous testing needed to be approved as medical treatments. Many fail due to a lack of consistent efficacy, unwanted side effects, or difficulties in formulation and dosage control. Another serious concern is the danger of overhyping these findings. Cancer patients, desperate for new treatments, may turn to unproven natural remedies in the hope of finding a cure. This can lead to people delaying or even abandoning conventional treatments in favor of dietary supplements or fruit-based extracts that lack scientific validation. The supplement industry is already notorious for marketing and proven products with exaggerated health claims, and the discovery of new potential anti-cancer compounds from papaya and passion fruit could easily be misused by companies looking to profit from false hope. Beyond cancer, the broader claims about these plant-based compounds improving gut health and fighting infections also require more scrutiny. While some antibacterial and immune-boosting effects have been observed in laboratory studies, the effectiveness of fruit-derived compounds in real-world medical scenarios remains questionable. Modern medicine relies on precisely formulated treatments with well-documented mechanisms of action, not vague claims about strengthening the immune system or modulating gut microbiota. Without large-scale clinical trials and regulatory approval, these findings remain little more than theoretical possibilities rather than viable medical solutions. Finally, there are economic and logistical barriers to consider. The production and modification of plant-derived compounds at a commercial scale can be expensive and inefficient. While researchers have developed techniques to extract and modify pectins from fruit byproducts, turning these discoveries into widely available and affordable treatments would require significant investment, regulatory approval, and years of further research. Many promising compounds fail simply because they are not cost-effective to produce or cannot be manufactured at the necessary scale to meet medical demand. While the research on papaya and passion fruit compounds is scientifically intriguing, it is important to remain cautious. The idea of fighting cancer and infections with fruit-derived substances may be appealing, but reality is often more complicated than laboratory findings suggest. Until these compounds are rigorously tested in human clinical trials and proven to be both safe and effective, any excitement about their potential must be tempered with skepticism. Patients should be wary of exaggerated claims, and should continue to rely on well-established medical treatments rather than experimental plant-based remedies that may never fulfill their early promise.